lot of Bedouin joiners, trackers. They look for footprints along the border, along that straight road. Some Arabs may join, and they do occasionally. Some regular Arabs, but in general not. And the Druze and the Circassians are drafted. The Druze are these guys. They're Arabs, but they're no longer Muslim. The Circassians from the Caucasus in Russia are Muslims who aren't Arabs. Plenty of Muslims who aren't Arabs. The Bosnians are Muslims who aren't Arabs.
So what is an Arab?
What is an Arab? Arab is somebody who speaks Arabic. What is an Arab? An Arab is some Muslim who speaks Arabic.
So what do the Jews speak?
The Jews speak Arabic, but they're not. The Druze are Arabs.
You just said the Jews weren't Arabs.
No, I said the Druze weren't Muslim. The Druze are Arabs who aren't Muslim. The Bosnians are Muslim who aren't Arab. The Circassians are Muslim who aren't Arab. The Indonesians are Muslim who aren't Arab. The Malays are Muslim. The Southern Russians, the Turkmens and all that. The Turks are Muslim who aren't Arabs. There are plenty of Muslims who are not Arabs. You know, Cassius Clay, what's his name? Muhammad Ali is a Muslim who's not an Arab. Plenty of them. Anyhow, the Druze religion itself is secret. They don't know the secrets of the religion. The only ones who do know the secrets of the religion are men over 40. By the way, also women. Very interesting. Say it again? No, but that's true. Yeah, but the Druze reason is different. The Kabbalah, they don't teach you before 40, lest you get captured in war and tortured to reveal the secrets. I don't know what that is. A round pillbox underneath his white keffiyeh. Says,
Windstorm of Megiddo today. Here's the entrance. Sign here. Today, March 8 to 3.
Of the stables during the time of Solomon. And down below, you will see the platform that I just showed you on the picture outside. Okay? You can take over from down here, Father. I'm going out on the hill.
good luck.
Yeah, we're going to freeze our butts off.
Yeah, all right. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah.
Stuff is what you see, and most of what you see is just ruins, and the white stuff is how they rebuilt it. Now, despite the fact that Brian is usually looking for gold coins or statues of King Herod, what archaeology is really all about is trying to figure out the city. And figuring out the city means figuring like for walls and gates and storehouses and public facilities and religious facilities and palaces and water system. All that stuff is what you want to figure out. Now this happens to be Megiddo. It could be anywhere. In the first place, there's a ramp going up. We're down here. There's a ramp going up, and the ramp leads into the gatehouse complex. The gatehouse is a huge complex. If you have the house itself, 1, 2, 3 rooms and a tower. Marshall, Matt, pick it back up again, please. Thank you. A tower, 1, 2, 3 rooms, and here's the gatehouse. Here's the gate. But this is only one of the gates, and the gate has a whole complex. This is the area of King Solomon and the kings of Judea. There's another older gatehouse down here where my pointer is. There's an older gatehouse right here. See it? This is 500 years before Solomon. So you got a gate down here, which is just 2 rooms. A gate up here, which is 3 rooms in a tower, 3 rooms in a tower. So you got gate on top of gate, so at least 2 layers. Megiddo's got 25 layers on it. Now, here's the wall. The old wall, King Solomon. Most of here is what King Solomon, because he made it a royal city. You got a double wall with rooms in it. That's a casemate. It's exactly what we saw in Masada. Wall, wall, wall. Guys, would you kindly leave that stuff alone? Thanks a lot. Just leave it alone. Listen, a double wall with rooms in it. A double wall with rooms, which is useful when you don't have enemies. Which is useful when you don't have enemies. But as soon as you did have enemies, because this Solomon built this, he didn't have enemies, but Ahab, 100 years later, did have enemies. Because Assyria was on the rise, and Ahab changed the wall. Instead of the casemate down here, he built a wall with a lot of corners. See this? Salients and recesses, zigzag, zigzag, in, out, zigzag. The more corners, the stronger the wall is. Because corners are stronger than flats. Now, so you got the walls and the gates, which is one part, and that's important. Here's the whole business of storehouses. Go past this, leave it alone.
How can I think?
Storehouses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Marshall and Paula.
Brian.
Listen. 1, 2, 3. Each house had 3 sections to it. 1, 2, 3. Now there's a big dispute. By the way, it's like a basilica, with columns in the middle. Are they storehouses or are they stables? Everybody knew that King Solomon had a chariot city, so they found all these things. They said they were stables, but then they said it couldn't be stables because in order to get this horse out, you have to get all the horses out because there's not enough floors. Anyhow, it's a long discussion, which you don't have to understand. We'll see this stuff, but the model is clearer than what you actually see, and it has something to do with animals, but it's not clear whether it's storehouses or stables. Now, the original archaeology on Megiddo was done at the turn of the century. The original archaeology was done by the Germans, the Deutsche Oriental Gesellschaft, the Gottlieb Schumacher. He says that up here, his report, that's early. I mean, they didn't have, archaeology wasn't a science then. He said that up here he found an Israelite temple. And he decided if he found an Israelite temple, he was going to find other temples underneath. He was responsible for this huge cut in the side of the mountain, which is destructive. Nobody would ever have done such a destructive dig now. So in fact, there's a huge piece of this mountain thrown out by the Germans before the First World War. We don't know what was gone here. This is all gone. What you see now is this stuff down here. His instincts were right, by the way. You have a temple, another temple with an altar, a third temple with an altar, and a beautiful round altar here for sacrifices. That's really wonderful. Because it's the only one there is in the world. You knew about these Canaanite high places, what they call Bamot. You knew about the Canaanite Bamot because it's in the Bible all the time, but you never found one. And they found a whole one here. It's very exciting. There's a picture of it outside on the in one of these dioramas. There's a picture of the priest standing up here with a big knife. I went up there with a big knife when I made a movie. It was good fun. Pretending to the Canaanite priest. Anyhow, in the middle you got the grain silo, which we'll have to talk about. A big hole in the middle, which we'll pass by. And then a whole lot of ruins. And then finally we have the water system. Finally have the water system. Now that's going to be a great thing. The tunnel is open, it's not flooded. And this is a way, because the water is out here, out of town. And the problem was to get to the water. And so you go all the way down this thing, right down the bottom here, big hole, and you go in that way, and the water, you bring the water from wherever it is into here, and the water's into here, and you go down, you walk all the way down, 200 feet, and then you walk all the way across and all this sort of thing, and the bus is waiting for us there. So all of this is to say that if you find a gold statue of King Herod, that's great. You make the New York Times, you make a lot of money. But what archaeology really wants to do is not treasure hunting. What archaeology wants to do is to understand. Where's the food supply, the water supply, the public buildings, the castles, the palaces, the gates, the fortifications, etc., etc. Now, let's go outside. Let's find a place which is as quiet as we can find it, and see if we can work somewhere. If we can talk around two river systems. One is the Nile. See it? I'm going to get to it. One system is the Nile River. Civilization sort of, except for Jericho, the usual, except. Civilization begins in the Nile, about 3000 BC. The other center of civilization is the Euphrates and the Tigris. Now those are two great rivers out here.
Wait, Tigris and Euphrates make the Nile. Sorry.
Talk to
What?
Done. Yeah, messed up. Bad idea.
Wish I had one
Tigris
smart
and Euphrates, and in fact, between the two rivers, between the rivers in Greek, Meso is between and Thamos is river. So this is the Fertile Crescent, and that ends more or less at Damascus. Up to here, it's Akkala, which is Aleppo, which is the great old city. From Aleppo. So what you got then is one center of civilization, another center of civilization, and then the question is, how do you get between the two? And that's a real question, because all the evidence is, and there's plenty of it, that they got between the two. There's plenty of trade, there's plenty of everything. And the answer is, you get between the two by going right through the land of Israel. No matter what you do, no matter how you slice it, if you're going to go from the Nile to the Fertile Crescent, you're going to go right through here, and it's this. See this? See where you are? It's the land bridge. It's the connection. And that's very, very, very important. This means that you can get to the Nile Delta. You can get to the Nile Delta from Tunis, from Algeria. You can walk to the Nile Delta from South Africa. You can walk from Ethiopia. You can walk anywhere you need to walk. You can walk. And 99% of all the things that are happening in the world are people walking. Airplanes weren't invented yet.